Welcome back to the Wrestling Palace here in Ufa in Russia. Making his way towards the boxing ring. Alexander Khokhlov, 24 years of age, from St. Petersburg, brings to the boxing ring. Undefeated record, 4 fights, 3 wins, 1 draw. One of those victories coming inside the distance. Khokhlov made his pro debut in April some 4 years ago. But this career that has been characterized by large bouts of inactivity.
Из Уфы, Башкортостан, Россия, Danis Gabdrafikov.
His opponent is also undefeated, and that is Danis Gabdrafikov, 26 years of age, from right here in Ufa. 3 fights, 3 wins. Second contest, he scored a first round KO. All of his fights have been in his homeland, preparing for his second outing in his hometown after making his debut in October of 2021. Perhaps saw that belt being held up before the fighters made their way to the boxing ring. This is a contest scheduled for 8 rounds, and it's for the Russian silver title.
Итак, дамы и господа, нас ожидают 8 раундов бокса за титул серебряного чемпиона России в весовой категории до 66,7 килограмма. Представляю участников этого боя и первым боксера в черном углу. Ему 24 года, рост 177 сантиметров, официальный вес 66,4 килограмма. Мастер спорта России, серебряный призер Кубка России 2024 года, не знающий поражений, с рекордом 4 боя, 3 победы при 1 ничьей, 1 победа нокаутом. Из Санкт-Петербурга, Россия, Александр Khokhlov. И его соперник напротив в золотом углу ринга. Ему 26 лет, рост 171 сантиметр, официальный вес 66,2 килограмма. Как и его соперник, носит звание мастера спорта России. Двукратный чемпион Приволжского федерального округа с безупречным рекордом. 3 боя, 3 победы, в том числе 1 нокаутом. Из Уфы, Башкортостан, Россия, Danis Gabdrafikov. Рефери поединка Дмитрий Болдырев.
Господа боксеры, слушаем команду внимательно, соблюдаем правила. По затылку не бьем, ниже пояса не бьем. Пожай руки.
So there, a look at the tail of the tape ahead of this domestic affair for the Russian silver title. 8 3-minute rounds, about made in the 66.7 kilogram division. Both men comfortably inside the limit, and it's Khokhlov. Boxer fighting out of the black corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed with gold out of the orthodox stance. He the slightly taller of the 2 men. The tattooed southpaw with the cornrowed hairstyle is started effectively with sharp shooting jabs to the body. And that is Danis Gabdrafikov. Gabdrafikov can see the musculature on his back in terrific condition. And that powering a fast twitch. Fishstick arsenal. Can see very relaxed guard as he's just content to glide around the perimeter of the boxing ring and rely on his reflexes and timing, and he's executing his game plan pretty effectively in the opening minute of this first round. Nice left jab coming from Khokhlov. Exchange of straight punches there as, again, Gabdrafikov just content to rely on his blistering speed to play counter puncher. Beautiful counter left to the body, and then right jab upstairs from Gabdrafikov. after making Khokhlov miss. Khokhlov completely contrasting style, not just in terms of stance, but in the manner in which he's going about his craft. Creeping over that front foot, driven back by a sharp shooting left cross out of the southpaw stance. Double right hand, body then head, in the form of scything hooks from Gabdrafikov. He's using all of the space of the boxing ring. Counter left hook to the body once again. And the home boxer, who's receiving the majority of the support here at the Wrestling Palace in Ufa, has made a terrific start. It's all very well possessing speed and reflex, but if you don't know how to use them, as he scored with a terrific left hand out of the southpaw stance off the ropes. You can see Khokhlov just trying to creep forwards over that front foot for the majority of the round. His hands have been bracketing his head, made to miss with a right hand lead against the southpaw. While speed is a terrific attribute to possess in sport in general and boxing in particular, no less a coach than Freddie Roach told me during the course of a conversation, if he had to bet on one attribute in the boxing ring, he always bets on speed. My goodness, there weren't many fighters who possessed quicker fists than perhaps his most famous charge, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Amir Khan worked with him for a spell as well. Left hook out of the southpaw stance from Khokhlov. But the fighter with greater speed of hand and foot appears to be Gabdrafikov. He scores with a left hand to the body. But remember, speed can be bested by timing. But for my money, it was a man in the opposite corner, Danis Gabdrafikov, who got the better of the opening 3 minutes. Some of the action, you see him thinking about the shoulder roll defense, and then there's that wonderful left cross off the ropes, finding space and time for his punches, despite seemingly being in a confined position. Always the hallmark of a competent fighter.
На его атаку реагируй, встречным или защитный действие, не подсаживайся. 10 секунд. 10 секунд, капа твоя. Давай, Санечка, давай. Хороший.
Секунданты за ринг. Второй раунд.
So we move into the second round then. The silver Russian title, very much a stepping stone belt for aspiring young pros on the line. And out of the southpaw stance, Danis Gabdrafikov, 3-0 in the professional ranks after making his debut in October of 2021. But his last two outings have been right here in his hometown on the IBA.PRO stage. Getting a little bit greedy as he attempted a flashy right hook out of the southpaw stance. Didn't find a range, but wasn't made to pay on the counter. As Khokhlov is trying to keep his foot on the outside of the right southpaw lead leg of Gabdrafikov. He's presenting a difficult target to catch cleanly. Here's the southpaw wearing white trimmed with gold. Right hand lead attempted, but he didn't take his feet with him, Khokhlov, so was just short of the mark and was picked off by a counter. Lead left hand to the body is a wonderful shot once again, driven straight into the sternum. Possesses very good lateral movement. That's Gabdrafikov. Exchange of jabs where Gabdrafikov appeared to be the more impactful. Busy with that lead right stick now, but you can see he's not afraid to bring it back in a rather circuitous, almost pendulous motion. Perhaps trying to lure Khokhlov in to attempt a counter, which he could then counter himself with his blistering speed. Left hand out of the southpaw stance on the counter was a good response to the left hand driven in by Khokhlov. 2 minutes gone in this second round. Beautiful, disruptive right jab once again from Gabdrafikov. And Again, he's showing wonderful variety on that lead right hand, dropping down with a left cross to the body.
Stop. Break.
Counter right hand over the top, not too far away from Khokhlov. Tangle of legs between the orthodox and southpaw boxer. There may have been a slapping right hand that was driven in by Gabdrafikov, but it ruled a slip by the referee, Mr. Dmitry Boldyrev. Changing direction beautifully to score effectively with more eye-catching singles. Picked off by a good right hand there by Khokhlov. His attempted counter was off the mark. But Khokhlov remaining committed to his task. And again, he's got to try and find that timing to offset the greater hand speed possessed by Gabdrafikov. Some of the action from the second round. Corkscrew lead right out of the southpaw stance from Gabdrafikov. Looking to counter with his own backhand was Khokhlov, but again, just made to miss by millimeters. There was an effective straight right cross from the man from St. Petersburg. Again, that shot dipping the knees of Khokhlov. So into the third round we go. This the furthest scheduled contest that either of these men have boxed in to this point in their professional careers. Right hand lead over the top to scoring shot from Khokhlov. Made to miss and then takes a muscular left hook to the body just beneath his right elbow. So one wonders, beautiful right hook dug in downstairs once again by Gabdrafikov. And so with two completed rounds in the book, there's another right jab disrupts the forward momentum of Khokhlov. Looping roundhouse left out of the southpaw stance is a scoring shot once again of the eye-catching variety. So what can Khokhlov do differently? Because single phase attacks that he's trying here, for my money, with 6 minutes of boxing completed and over a minute gone in the third, I don't think he's having the success that he and his team are searching for. Counter left hook downstairs, followed by a sliding right hook to the chin from Gabdrafikov, who really is demonstrating wonderful ring craft. But now the onus surely has to be on Alexander Khokhlov, the orthodox boxer wearing the black trimmed with gold, to do something different. And maybe it's in this type of territory. Rough the speedster up, make him uncomfortable, come with a second and maybe third phase of attack. Because the single phase attack, which can reduce it to a battle of sharpshooters, is being bested by some distance by Danis Gabdrafikov, the southpaw wearing white. So the corner have got to come up with some new tactics. As Gabdrafikov scored with a touching right jab to the body. There's a right uppercut on the inside that wasn't too far away. And a cluster of punches unloaded by Khokhlov. Many of them repelled by the defenses. And a wonderful counter left hook to the body once again by Gabdrafikov. Wide-legged stance being adopted by Khokhlov. But he's got to try and do something to disrupt the flow that Gabdrafikov has established in this contest so far. Good lateral movement being demonstrated by Gabdrafikov, able to skirt around the perimeter of the boxing ring, both left and right. Two men sparring with the lead hands. There's an effective counter right hand from Khokhlov. Good left hook slung into the body once again by Gabdrafikov. Bobbing and weaving his way forwards is Khokhlov, but he wasn't able to score with any successful offense. Pockets of success in that round for Alexander Khokhlov. having the gum shield removed in that black corner, but it's got to be more consistent, surely, from his perspective, because sharp shooting singles like this, the punches that are easy to score, they're eye-catching, pleasing to the eye. It was a good counter right hand, but countered immediately by a two-piece combination. Southpaw left to the body, right hook to the head. Wonderful, sharp shooting successes. Again, another counter right hand from Khokhlov. But for my money, it's another round in favor of Danis Gabdrafikov over in the gold corner. So we move into the fourth round. Coming out with seemingly greater urgency out of the black corner is Alexander Khokhlov. But he's still not able to pin down the fleet-footed Danis Gabdrafikov, who's just, beautiful work off the back foot, sticking and moving, changing direction, now moving clockwise to his left after having so much success moving counterclockwise to his right. And despite the increased urgency that Alexander Khokhlov came out of his black corner with, it has been neutralized by the balletic movement up in the boxing ring of Gabdrafikov. There he tried with a Hollywood left uppercut out of that southpaw stance, which wasn't too far away. Now, just muscling his man towards the ropes and looking to work him to the body is Khokhlov, but again, Gabdrafikov able to glide back out to the space of the ring. So trying to bob and weave his way forward while wearing the earmuffs is Khokhlov. But again, Gabdrafikov continuing to cut a composed figure up there in the boxing ring. Surely it's this type of territory where Khokhlov needs to be working away, trying to slow down the movement of Gabdrafikov, maybe invest in some body shots, even if some of them land on the belt line, force the referee to intervene. But in a classic straight-up boxing match, this appears to be favoring the man from Ufa, wearing the white trimmed with gold. Good right-hand success upstairs from Khokhlov after he took a left uppercut to the body. But then Gabdrafikov showing that he's not averse to some physical stuff on the inside as he put his man in a headlock while digging away with his free hand. But remember, this is a contest scheduled for 8 rounds. Furthest that either man has been, and speed is a quality that can dissipate the more fatigue sets in. So crucial that Khokhlov doesn't get discouraged and remain committed to his task. Decibel level rising here at the Wrestling Palace in Ufa. Beautiful left hand while spinning away counterclockwise to his right from Gabdrafikov. There, Khokhlov able to land with a left jab, and now he's seeming to get closer. Gabdrafikov just looking to fashion a clinch and get himself off the ropes and back to center ring. 10-second clapper. Blistering speed on the sound of the indicator that we're arriving at the end of the round. Burst of punches to the body rattled off in rapid fire fashion. Strong conclusion to the round by Danis Gabdrafikov. Khokhlov again enjoying some success. He's certainly in the contest. I just don't think he's doing enough to win the contest at the halfway stage.
Первым ведешь, двигаешься, первым стреляешь, прям подошел, завязал, там. Твой темп, те удары, которые ты наносишь, они наносят ему урон. То, что он идет без ударов, это все херня. Не старайся не сближай. А если сблизился, вот так ты вышел здесь, там, так и так, хорошо?
Секундантный заик. 5-й раунд.
So into the second half of this contest we go. 4 rounds completed. A scheduled 4 rounds remain in this battle for the Russian silver title, a vice title, if you will, at 66.7 kilograms. It's been a wonderful display of sharp shooting, punch picking like that by the man out of the southpaw stance, Danis Gabdrafikov. It's a battle of undefeated boxers, so neither man knows how to lose. And it's going to be down to one of them to place doubt in the mind of their opponent. And for my money, so far, it has been the southpaw wearing white trim with gold who have done that more effectively. But credit to Alexander Khokhlov, his orthodox opponent wearing black, because he's remaining committed to his task. And as we move into the second half of the contest, can he begin to make his pressure tell? But surely he's got to dial up the pressure, just turn the thumb screw a little bit more to try and instill that doubt and uncertainty in the mind and the boxing of Gabdrafikov. Doing a good job maintaining the gap between himself and his opponent. And again, just able to spin off the line and get from the confined position of the ropes back to the space of ring center. So still chugging his way forwards, trying to get some head movement going by bobbing and weaving side to side. There's a good right hand from Khokhlov. Gabdrafikov just keen to tie his man up. You can see that he's breathing through a mouth that's open. He's clocked up an awful lot of miles on his fistic odometer. Oh, there's a counter left hand. That was explosive and rapid once again. But if I can sense that from my commentary position, then surely Khokhlov will have a sense of that open mouth breathing by Gabdrafikov as well. There he reaches for a right cross, followed by a left jab. He's holding his feet now, and a big swing and a miss with a punch that was rather ponderous compared to the blistering speed that has been on his previous, that has been evident on his previous punch output. So is Gabdrafikov beginning to slow down? There he unloads a flashy bolo shot to the body with the right hand. Just taking in big lungfuls of oxygen as he makes his way back to his gold corner. Interesting passage of the contest lies ahead for my money. Gabdrafikov in the 6th round distance in his previous IBA Champions Night outings. It was a beautiful right uppercut. It was delivered with explosivity and speed. But can this man take advantage of Gabdrafikov's depleting energy levels? Not suggesting that he's in danger, but he is breathing through a mouth that is open. And that is often a telltale sign of a boxer who's feeling the pace. So we move into the 6th round. Each of these men have been the 6th round distance previously in their professional careers. How well has Gabdrafikov recovered during the 60-second interval? Southpaw left not too far away, then nice athletic movement by dipping at the knees. Clever move to tie his man up, pushing off, and then score with a snaking right jab out of that southpaw stance. Made to miss with those explosive punches. And if you spent any time in the ring, you'll know that missing an opponent is far more fatiguing, far more energy sapping than landing on muscle and bone. Terrific work out of the corner to pierce his man's defenses with straight punches and then spin away to the space of center ring. But again, I suggested that Gabdrafikov may be feeling the pace. If he is, then surely it is down to Khokhlov to examine any discomfort he may be feeling, and this is where he's got to work away. When up close, chest to chest, toe to toe, blast him down to the body and see what type of response that brings. Look at the gap he's got to try and close now. With Gabdrafikov just picking his punches and boxing in spurts. But when in the ring against a boxer who is trying to control the ten-up and the tempo in that regard, make him box the fight that he doesn't want to. Nice variety with the jab, upstairs and downstairs from Gabdrafikov. That's a low blow with the left, and then just set his man up with a rapid-fire right hand, cross to the body, then hook to the head. Wonderful combination punching from Gabdrafikov. And has he found a second wind, or has he just summoned up some energy to box as effectively as he did through this passage of the 6th round? He momentarily turned orthodox. And again, Khokhlov having a really difficult time getting into his own preferred territory and sustaining any pressure. There's a good lead left hand from Khokhlov. And now when he's up close, he's got to blast away on whatever he can find. Shoulders, biceps, even triceps, if the referee doesn't intervene. But just work the man over in an attempt to slow down his speed. He too taking in big breaths of oxygen. And Gabdrafikov ain't able to maintain the gap and continuing to peck away with pot shot successes. Can't accept the clinch here. He's got to get those hands free and dig away, particularly to the body of the southpaw speedster. So a bit of a nick beneath the right eye of Gabdrafikov, who on the 10-second clapper looks to unload a rapid-fire combination once again. Well, this contest taking on something of an attritional quality now. 6 rounds in the book in this contest, scheduled for 8 for the Russian silver national title at 66.7 kilograms. Still able to find accuracy and then make his man miss. Perhaps guilty of dipping below the belt line there, which is illegal. Able to utilize his speed to terrific effect. Not with the frequency he was doing in the first 3 rounds of the contest, but still able to do so consistently enough that he's winning this contest for my money.
Секунданты за ринг. 7-й раунд.
So as the bell sounds to begin round number 7, this represents brand new territory for both of these professional boxers. Each man has completed the 6-round distance previously, and when entering uncharted territory for the first time, well, because it is an unknown, can sometimes place some doubt into the minds of the boxers venturing into brand new waters. Because it's all very well doing it in the gym, in sparring, but under the ring lights it can be a completely different matter. And remember, Gabdrafikov boxing at home. There's the pressure of expectation that comes with that. Both men are acquitting themselves well so far in this 7th round, as Khokhlov able to drive his man back to the neutral corner and enjoy some success, while Gabdrafikov was pinned against the corner post. Both men going in search of right hands. And again, the head movement and the dynamism like that has surely got to come from Khokhlov in a bid to get inside, because when he's boxing at long range, he's been beaten to the punch on a consistent basis for my money. He's a tidy boxer himself, anything but a phone booth brawler. But when in against a man who is perhaps more adept in boxing at long range, then surely you've got to try and make the speedster box something other than the type of contest where he can showcase his speed of hand and foot, just as he did there with that 2 combination. Good right hand to the body from Khokhlov, immediately claimed around the head by Gabdrafikov inside the final minutes of this penultimate round. Right jab while moving counterclockwise and spinning off the line from Gabdrafikov. Three-shot combination not too far away from Khokhlov. Drives in a right hand once again, made to miss with a follow-up left hook. And now it's Gabdrafikov seeking to get on the front foot. Long bridging his man with the jab. Here's Khokhlov, spears in a straight right cross to the body. That left cross had a rather ponderous look about it, not suggesting it was telegraphed, but again, didn't have the crispness or sharpness of some of his previous punch output. Coaches, that glance at the clock will tell them that we're approaching the closing stages of the 7th round. And again, as Khokhlov just spoken to about long bridging his man, holding out that shot and not punching with it, that against the rules, of course. So one round remaining, and again, very similar pattern unfolding over that previous 3 minutes. In that, for my money, it's Khokhlov who is doing the better work. It's Gabdrafikov who is doing the better work. Khokhlov always in the contest, but not doing enough to win the round, in my estimation. And again, these scoring singles, often without reply, will continue to make an impression in the mind of the judges. And again, something different, an adaptive type of strategy has got to be attempted and then implemented here by Khokhlov, because he must be behind on the scorecard. So we move into the final round. By my reckoning, the orthodox boxer wearing the black trimmed with gold, Alexander Khokhlov, must be trailing in this contest, as again, just able to demonstrate his speed and movement is Gabdrafikov, and those have been qualities that have served him well all contest long. Once we got beyond the 4th round, Khokhlov was able to get up closer and enjoy success, but not enough success, and certainly not the same level of success as being produced by Gabdrafikov, the southpaw boxer wearing white and gold. And now with the finish line in sight, he's confident that he can get back to his sticking and moving and see this one out. Very much entering bout management mode here now. Boxers often know, and he must have the sense that he has done enough to build up a lead on the scorecards of the judges. And that is why he's getting back to the sticking and moving that served him so well in the first 4 rounds of the contest. So halfway through the 8th and final round, and there hasn't been a discernible enough of a change from Alexander Khokhlov to turn this round, let alone the contest, in his favor. Good right hook to the body and then able to dip underneath the attempted counter. And now the home fans making their presence felt as they dial up the decibel level once again. And boxers, athletes of all sports tell you that even though they're locked in and focused once they enter their field of competition, in this case the boxing ring, they can sense the energy and often harness extra energy from the support that they're receiving. That's the benefit of home field advantage. That's what Danis Gabdrafikov is enjoying here tonight. And he has boxed very effectively indeed in this battle of young undefeated professionals. And again, having moved around the boxing ring so effectively for the first 2 minutes of the round, just having to hold his feet a little bit more now, fashion clinches to kill the clock. But now, Khokhlov knows that he needs the punch of a lifetime to turn this one in his favor. He wasn't too far away with that right cross and fighting his way through the fatigue is Gabdrafikov. Final roll of the dice in the form of that big overhand right from Khokhlov. Never stopped competing up until the final bell. But as the bell tolls to conclude this 8th round contest between young unbeaten professionals, the crowd showing their appreciation from what was a very competitive, keenly contested affair. For what it's worth, I happen to think that this man has done enough to be declared as the victor here tonight. Danis Gabdrafikov, a very effective and impressive performance of sticking and moving. Alexander Khokhlov always in the contest, but I don't think he has done enough to win the contest as we await the official announcement of the scorecard from the scoring judges ringside.
Шестой четкий раунд был, да? Шестой там в одну газ. По 10-8.
Well, acknowledging his hometown fans here at the Wrestling Palace in Ufa is Gabdrafikov, and again his body language burgeoning with confidence. He knows that he's done enough, and we just await official confirmation from tonight's MC, Mr. Alexander Sadokov, who will be making his way into position shortly to give us the official particulars at the conclusion of this 8th round contest in the welterweight division.
Дамы и господа, прежде чем мы узнаем имя победителя, ваши аплодисменты обоим боксерам. Это был действительно классный бой. Итак, дамы и господа, после 8 напряженных и зрелищных раундов обратимся к судейским запискам. Судья 1, 78-74. Судья 2, 79-73. И судья 3, также 79-73. Таким образом, единогласным решением судей победу по очкам одержал и стал серебряным чемпионом России в полусреднем весе из Уфы, Башкортостан, Данис Gabdrafikov!
So Danis Gabdrafikov declared a unanimous point decision victor here over Alexander Khokhlov in a battle of undefeated professionals. It is Gabdrafikov who has maintained his own, inflicting the first professional loss on Alexander Khokhlov, and that is why he's in possession of that beautiful Russian silver title in the welterweight division. Credit to Alexander Khokhlov, put his unbeaten record on the line in a bid to claim that strap. Competed spiritedly, but Gabdrafikov, using his speed, movement, and variety of shot selection to always maintain an edge in this contest. When his speed dissipated just a little, perhaps through round 5, 6, and 7, he was able to step it up again with the finish line in sight in round 8. Khokhlov always trying to bustle his way inside and find successes that could have perhaps slowed down the movement, but there was an example of the combination punching, often from confined positions, unfurled by Danis Gabdrafikov. A very good victor to extend his unbeaten ledger and claim that Russian silver title. He remains undefeated in his pro card and 3 wins out of 3 on the IBA stage here in his hometown of Ufa. Well, you may have seen when we came on air for this portion of the card that the graphic suggested 3 bouts. But rest assured, it's a 4-7 fight card. We had an opening bout between Vivek Singh of India and Tamilan Osdoyev of